Hello, podcast world. Welcome to my introductory episode of Changing the Climate. All right, cool. So thanks everyone if you're kind of tuning into this first little short introductory episode. I've never made a podcast before. I've had dabbled with a couple video projects in the past, but this will be my first kind of long-term running project that I'm doing. So let me give you some background information. Pleasure to make your introduction. My name is Ethan Shapiro. I am a 22-year-old real estate agent from Ringwood, New Jersey, a small mountain town 20 minutes outside of Manhattan, where I was born. And on this show, I'm going to be bringing on guests every single week to discuss the changing world around us and our influence on these changes. So the point of this show is to talk about how the world is always going through these evolutions, these changes, these big things are happening around us constantly, and just kind of create a dialogue about how we can influence these changes to create a kind of net positive. So to kind of summarize the things we're going to be talking about, I kind of have three main ideas or like topics of contention that I think really need to be fleshed out and talked about a lot more, as they're very relevant to what's going on in the world right now. So obviously the first one's going to be climate change, global warming, whatever you want to call it. I'm a real estate agent, but I'm also kind of I don't know what you want to call it. Well, basically, so the way my real estate business works is I do specifically real estate sales. I go door to door 6 times a week, or I did, and I try to meet sellers and list their houses and sell them. But the catch, I don't know if you want to call it the catch, or my kind of differentiator is that 50% of all of my profits are actually donated to organizations that fight climate change, that are dedicated to environmentalism. Basically, the idea behind it was I want to kind of give myself some incentive to work twice as hard. I want to have my job have some more meaning than just kind of generating income. So you kind of see it as every dollar I make, 50 cents is going to go towards fighting climate change. And the way I'm kind of structuring that is I'm looking into organizations that are going to most effectively combat the most devastating effects of climate change. So my idea is not to like really cherry pick and give to organizations that I like the most, but to give money to the people who are most likely to prevent mass destruction, suffering, horrible things. So yeah, the idea of kind of bringing our carbon footprint down so global warming doesn't get to more than 2 degrees Celsius. I watched a video yesterday about how if we get to 4 degrees Celsius, basically the entire world besides Canada, Russia, and Antarctica will be a desert. And I like the forests, so I would hope that doesn't happen. Cool, yeah, so, changing the climate, that's the name of the show, but it's kind of meant to be like a multifaceted word, the climate thing. So it's like the environmental climate, of course, the economic climate, the social climate, the political climate. I want to talk about changes going on all around the world, just in general. So the second topic that I'm really big on, as I kind of hinted to when I was explaining my business model, is just enlightened self-interest, which is the idea that the best thing you can do for yourself is help others. And that's why I think that businesses, the most successful ones at least, are typically motivated by enlightened self-interest. And I know I'll probably get a lot of backlash for this. And to be honest, I'm expecting to get a lot of backlash all the time because I have opinions that are outside the box, and I refuse to just sit there and shut up when people say, when everyone thinks one thing and I think another thing. Like I'm willing to be proven wrong, but I don't think I'm getting into the next topic here. I don't think that silencing people is an appropriate way of having discourse. But anyway, so first topic, climate change. Second topic is going to be about socially responsible business practice in general. The idea that businesses will be most successful if they're looking to help people rather than just derive profit. So you can go on your balance sheet and change the numbers around to make the business looks like it's worth billions of dollars when in reality it's worth not so much. But that's not really important. what's important is creating value in the economy. I went to the University of Colorado. I got a 4-year business degree in management and entrepreneurship. I have a little bit of background in business. Obviously, I run my own business selling real estate, but I really fundamentally believe that the most successful companies are a success not because of stepping on people's heads and clawing others to get to the top, but just finding a way to provide the most value possible. So taking Amazon as an example, they completely revolutionized the way we buy products, which is really great because now everyone can get what they need quickly, easily, conveniently. And then I know people are always criticizing Jeff Bezos because he's like super duper rich, and people are full of criticism anyway. So yeah, enlightened self-interest, sustainable business practices, or just businesses motivated by something called stakeholder rather than shareholder value. Shareholder value would be the money that the people who own the business make. Stakeholder value, which would be people who have a vested stake in the business, so people who are affiliated with the business in some way. So for example, ExxonMobil producing lots of harmful chemicals that go into the air. We're all stakeholders of the air. We all breathe the air. So that therefore they should be motivated by creating a net good for everyone. This is a very complicated topic that I'm going to be excited to get into moving forward. But yes, so I went through that. Number 1, climate change. Number 2, ethical businesses. Number 3 is going to be this movement that I've been noticing for a while. This whole PC culture and the just escalating partisanism, or is bipartisanism, I'm not exactly sure what it is, of America. People are getting super duper polarized lately, and it's leading to this climate, changing the climate. It's leading to this climate of the enemy needs to be shut down and destroyed rather than any sort of like discourse. Now, I'll say up front, I don't consider myself liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican. I have leanings certain one way or the other. Obviously, I believe in climate change, but doing some research the other day, there's compelling arguments on both sides. And that's kind of the point, is I believe that like discourse overall, just talking about something, is going to lead to the truth in general. So by silencing someone who has an opinion different from you, you're actually hurting your own cause, because this person's going to go home, get really angry, and try and build up a opposing team to come and fight you, rather than you two just talking it out and trying to figure out what is the rational way to come to a conclusion about something extremely complex like climate change or abortion or tax law. Like, the only way to do this is talking. That's why I'm super, obviously I'm American, I'm super pro freedom of speech. I really believe in people being allowed to express themselves. If that means that people who think they're better than other people are going to be able to say I'm better than you, that's fine. You can think they're a dick, you can think whatever you want, but this idea that we need to silence everyone because they have a different opinion than you, I'm fundamentally opposed to. And as you can see, I'm going to bring people on this show every single week to just talk. Now, every person who's going to sit across from me at this little studio is going to have a different opinion from me in some way. And that's the point. I want to talk to people. I want to hear different opinions. I want to change my mind. I want to change my positions to find what the best position possible is going to be. Because the more you hear, the more you'll learn, the smarter you'll get, the more insight you'll have on the next time you have a conversation. So that's changing the climate. Yeah, those are the 3 main topics of change that I'd like to discuss. Now, I didn't have a script. I just got my microphone from Best Buy today. I was pretty excited. I just kind of threw it on and started talking. And I hope that this was a good introduction for the show. This is probably I won't say this is the most I'm going to talk in a row, but moving forward, it's really going to be trying to see the world through my guests' eyes, get their perspective, give them a chance, give them an opportunity to show their point of view, and give them a platform was the word I was looking for. So bear with me. I got this microphone. I've never had one before. I've never done anything like this before. Quality is going to improve. I'm going to get better at doing this. My guests are going to be awesome. I've already reached out to a couple people. I want to have friends on. I want to have old professors that I know on. I want to have people I've never met on before, leaders of environmental organizations, political organizations, whatever it may be. And eventually I want to have like critics of me come on and talk about how they disagree with the way I conduct myself, or the opinions that I may have formed through the conversations I've had with people. So this is not about seeing the world through Ethan's eyes. I want to give an unbiased, everyone tries to be unbiased these days. Fox and CNN say that they're unbiased as well. But I want to try and give, maybe not an unbiased, but I want to try and give a double bias perspective, meaning one week we bring on someone who is a wholehearted believer in climate change, thinks it's a huge problem and has all these ideas for how to fix it. Then maybe the week after that, I'll bring on a climate change denier and tell them what I learned last week from the person who spends their life fighting climate change. Why do you deny that even exists at all? And hear their perspective, because we want to give people a chance to express themselves. Because if we just silence them, they're going to get angry. They're going to try and build up a battalion to fight. And what we don't want to do is fight with people. We want to learn from others. And that's kind of why I think this show will be super fun, because I'll just get to meet new people or talk to new people every week and learn new things and show how much of a moron I truly am. And maybe by the end, I'll be a little bit less of a moron. So that's my introduction. I hope you all enjoy the show, and I look forward to making it very much. 2012.